Open a meeting, start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. See? I missed one meeting. I forgot my gavel. Where's your gavel?
Oh, good.
Don't have it. I didn't even call the meeting in order here.
Can I have it recorded, please?
So, we had the meeting, the minutes distributed. Hopefully everybody got a chance to read them. If so, if they're good, can I get a motion to accept the meeting as accept the minutes as distributed?
Oh, I just have one question. You got my correction there?
I fixed it.
Okay.
You're good.
I'll move that.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carried. Citizens' comments?
Our one citizens. Come on. You got something?
You sure? Okay. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, there we go.
All right.
Look at it.
You know, as far as the citizens' comments, I'm
Yeah.
glad, this is Cindy Clark from Washington. I'm really glad that you changed the format because I've been coming to meetings a long time too. And sometimes it goes on and on and on with some of the comments. And I feel there are times when people make comments, it almost, it puts the board like in a real defensive mode because they have, if a specific question comes up, you know, you can't be answering everything. You don't know all. None of you does. And if somebody asks a question and you don't know the answer, then sometimes I felt like it's almost intentional to make you look silly or like you don't know what you're talking about or whatever. And that's, you know, it hasn't happened a lot, but it's happened a few times where I felt that's what it was, and I don't think that's the time. Like, you call the board, call in advance. I've got a couple questions. I'll discuss things afterwards because this isn't the time to discuss them. But I like that you do that because sometimes, like I say, the meetings go on and on and on, and they're not really strictly always town business or what's related to the agenda, that type of thing. So I'm glad that you got this out and it was explained, and I hope that we can go forward just like we've been going forward with the comments. That's all.
Thank you. Okay, seeing as our one citizen, we don't have any more citizens' comments. We'll move on to town board comments. We'll start with you, Mr. Road.
I'd just like to revisit, we had our COVID handout and appreciate it says Cindy Clark showed up. Pete came, Jeff came. We had a great effort. We handed out a couple hundred kits that day. Had a line backed up to 31.
See the picture in the paper?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was great. It was cold. I'm not totally gonna admit it was cold, but I think it was well received. A lot of thank yous. I've never seen so many people so gracious and appreciative. It was heartwarming.
It was nice. It was a nice cooperation.
So I thank everybody that helped, everybody who got the word out, and I believe you ended up giving out probably the rest of the kits we had left the next day Monday at Town Hall. So excellent job. Thank you for the assistance. And, that's all I have. And oh, sorry, one more thing. We had our first highway committee meeting with Mr. Sweetak and Jeff, Supervisor Wicks. We're getting our feet wet. It's new to me. And Al, sorry. It's, understanding everything on this side of the table and working toward making a better product for the community. Ken's got some ideas, and I'm sure he'll share them when he's ready to. But look forward to working with everybody, and let's make things better. That's all I have for tonight. Stay warm.
I'll stick to the agenda tonight.
I will as well. I would just say thank you, Cindy, for coming out tonight, our sole citizen. And thank you everyone who stayed in and decided to watch. Also stay warm. We're having a couple chilly days. I know I'm in the minority here, but I like cold weather. I like ice. So I know I'm in the minority, but everybody else out there, stay warm and enjoy it while it lasts.
So my comments, the only thing I have tonight is we started, or I put together an emergency management committee consisting of, for right now, of me, Tim Woolsey, our codes enforcement officer, and Mr. John Cox, who's a member of the Baldwinsville Fire Department. And the emergency management, we don't have an emergency management plan. So my goal is to get one up and running, and there's a number of things that, this is going to be a fluid type plan that has to be updated every year, but we have to start, and we have to get all the stakeholders involved, and there's a lot of them. I mean, from police, fire, EMS, churches, there's a number of them, on and on and on. So we had our first meeting, we came up with what we want to do, and we gave a couple of people have some assignments to just contact the people involved and get them on board, and so we can start having larger meetings. We're going to start with police and fire first, then we're going to expand out. And my goal is by the end of next year to have a plan that will be minimal, but it'll be a plan, at least it'll be a plan to cover some of the areas that we need to cover. For instance, if we had to relocate some people out of their homes, where would we take them to? There is no plan for that, or there is no setup as far as where we would take them right now, and also getting intermunicipal agreements in place with all the different entities. These are some of the things that you have to take care of up front in order to even move forward with it. So we started that, we had our first committee meeting, and we're going to have at least once a month. And as we move forward and get things set up, I'll give you more updates on what we're doing with that. So we'll move on to the department head reports. We'll start with you, Mr. Visigno. Nothing. Mr. Merrill?
Reservations for pavilions, community room, fields are now open and available. I hadn't had them as we were waiting to vote on the new rates, and information will go up on the website soon. I've been in the process of updating all of the reservation applications, park rules, special event license and that, so, but that stuff will be going up on the website soon.
Okay.
I just have one question. Is the reservation, is that, can you do them online, or you have to come to town?
Not yet.
Okay.
It's still I'm working with Syracuse Technologies to get it closer to online. I mean, it's still a small enough reservation operation that it's not worth it to put it completely online. So it's online enough that I can email somebody an application, or they can pull it offline. I'm in the process of getting it where it'll be a fillable PDF document that somebody can pull offline, complete it, email it back. So, I mean, that's really about as online as we need for it to be. We'll have the calendar visible to the public on the website, so as opposed to making 10 calls a day to find out what pavilion is available on what date for them, just go online and look at the calendar.
Yeah,
And
pretty much what
and then call us, you know, and then other than that, it's pretty much all email, and they can call over the phone with a credit card payment, so.
Okay.
And Mr. Merrill came in and he asked me to revisit the part-time secretary's position. So, and I told him that until we get the comptroller's thing worked out, and we're close. I mean, it came up, so we're close. So in our next meeting, I mean, I think we should start reconsidering getting Mr. Merrill some help, and then there's a couple other things that we could probably address with that, but, you know, I told you that we would address it. We'll move forward on the next one, so.
No worries.
I'm hoping to get this thing done soon, you know. Mr. Sweetek.
Yeah, I just want to say that if you're out there watching, we need wingmen or wing people. Let the board know we posted jobs for temporary people to come in and help the drivers move the snow around, as well as starting to solicit applications from people to fill some retirement spots that we were foreseeing come down the road. So if you know anybody, or if you are out there and would like to apply, highway of townlysander.org, and take a look at it.
I noticed that the county, I'm trying to think where, I think it was going down Pottery Road. There's one of the county highway garages there, and they have just a street sign posted outside
Oh, yeah, bad idea.
on the road, and you get a lot of traffic on that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's something worth looking at, get a sign posted out there.
Yeah.
So with your transfer, what was the amount that you wanted from Parks?
5,000.
5,000, okay. All right, thank you. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Mr. Yeager? Ms. Falcone?
I just want to let everybody know that my deputy clerk and I finished our recertifications for passport acceptance agents. We had to do that during the month of January, where we take classes online and then we take a test at the end. We both passed the test, and so now we have to send in our paperwork to the federal government to get recertified. So we'll be taking passport appointments around mid-February. The price of passports did go up. There's quite a few changes, so I recommend anybody who needs a passport to call my office. The turnaround time is a lot better though with passports. Now it's about 8 to 12 weeks. So they have more staff and it's getting a little better. But that's just an update on passports.
Could you call my wife? I've been after her to get her passport.
You trying to send her out of the country?
We want to go out of the country in the fall. We got a trip planned, and without that passport, I guess she's going to be staying home.
But she can come in February. We'll set her up.
All right. And we would like if you do need a passport, we would like them to come into the town so we get that, the revenue comes to us as opposed to some other jurisdiction. And if you come here, as opposed to going somewhere else, you have free parking and it's easy to get in and out.
And you have better service.
And you have better service. There we go. So, that's right. So, anything else?
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So we're going to move on to the regular agenda items. Item C tonight is going to be tabled, and we are going to have an item D that we are going to put in. So item A, may I have a motion to authorize the change from the January 6, 2022 organizational agenda to reflect the longevity amount from Mr. Alan Yeager to $300 from $500.
I'll move that.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carried. I have a motion to authorize the change from the January 6, 2022 organizational agenda to reflect part-time maximum hours for Alicia Colburn to 25 hours from 30 hours per week.
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
Is that backwards?
No, that's right.
Okay.
To 25 hours from 30 hours. It was stated incorrectly in the organizational agenda. Should have been 25 hours the whole time.
Okay.
You're comfortable with that, Ken, that you just need someone 25 hours a week? Or do you need some?
Actually, having the last few weeks at the 30 has been very helpful, especially with the shortage of wing people.
So should we just leave it then and not do this?
Well, wait, aren't you paying her on? She was also listed as a laborer. Yeah,
Correct.
that's a So are you different accounting line item, and she for won't do that? that during the On summer. that end, or you have paperwork? I mean,
No.
I know you're new, but do you expect that secretarial work to decrease? I mean, it's a budget line that has a certain amount of money attached to it.
Correct. If anything, it's going to increase because once spring hits, we're going to have all the other equipment that's been sitting, those repairs, those startup costs, things that have sat people have forgotten about, and now the sun comes out, so we start to do things that we haven't, and find the neat things we either wore out or don't have. So if anything, I think the secretarial is going to increase as the weather breaks.
So if we're not going to pay this person, we're paying this person on an hourly basis, whether you work them 25 or 23 or 27. So is there I don't know the details. I would just as soon leave it alone if you want to leave it alone.
My only thing was that, yes, but if it wasn't supposed to be that way to begin with,
Yeah, but you got to do your job, and you need I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I don't want you to be shortchanged by not having a person in that seat.
I'd say you're still new too. Why don't you come back to us in 6 months or so, and then we can discuss moving it back to 30 if need be.
Because right now, the tough part of it is, she sits in as a wing person, and, for example, today, it was in the middle of the day. I did not go out, so I answered the phones and tried to do the office as well as do the office work as well as my own. So I think at this point, if we just...
I mean, but if you're paying her as a wing person, she's on a different rate, right?
Correct.
So that won't go into your 25 hours. You would still have her as 25 hours for the secretary's position.
Yeah, your laborer's separate from this.
Yeah, that wing person would be different until you fill that. So if you have to use her in that position, that doesn't go against your 25 hours.
Yeah, I mean, if you need her 30 hours on wing, that doesn't count to the secretarial part of this.
Unless there's something I don't know, I don't want to propose it right now, but why don't we just table this for now and you and Ken work it out, and then come back at the next meeting? I mean, it's not the end of the world. You're not paying, it's not like it's a salary position that we have to pay 30.
Can we budget a certain amount though for that position?
Yeah, but
change
until you
that.
hit that wall, you're really not at, and like I was saying, a few months into this,
I don't feel comfortable approving it. I mean, I just see that there's a trend here, especially with this certain position, that things are they're going a different way.
you have a brand new
No, I know.
highway supervisor that's learning the job. You want to give I don't want to set people up to fail. I've watched it long enough from that side. I'm not doing that.
I have enough confidence in the supervisor and Ken to be able to work this out and come back to us. So I'm gonna propose a resolution to table this one, an amendment to table it.
I'm okay with it.
I need a second.
Oh,
Because it's already.
I'll second the table.
okay.
We have to vote on that.
No, you don't need to.
Yes, you do.
On a table?
I think you can.
Yeah, you can just do it.
Okay,
If
Yeah.
we're in agreement to table.
Okay, so then we're just going to come back next
Yeah, we'll
meeting.
table it.
All right, great.
So I have a question. So on the organizational agenda, it says 30 hours.
Yeah.
But it was supposed to be 25.
Right.
So am I leaving it not?
Leave it there for now. We'll
Okay.
table it and then
Okay.
we'll revisit it.
Okay, so the minutes were approved. At 30. So leave it at 30.
For now.
For now,
We
yeah.
just tabled it.
Yeah, because we tabled this motion, so they're okay.
Just to
The minutes are okay,
clarify.
yeah. And then we'll table that one. And we tabled motion C, so B and C are tabled. And the D, and I know that wasn't on the agenda, but this was something that just came up that, in an emergency situation, we're authorized to do this. So we'll may have a motion to approve a transfer of $5,000 from parts, line item 5130-401 to repairs 5130-402 to cover the cost of repairs to truck 29.
I'll move that.
I'll second it.
I just have a question. Did we, I wrote it down, I was just making sure, we're moving it from parts to repairs?
Correct.
Okay, I wrote it down backwards. That's why I was asking. Okay.
Okay, any other discussion? So what this is for, back in...
Okay.
I was gonna say, is the bill itemized and have parts on it?
I believe, I mean, I would assume it does. They have listed everything in the past.
Do we even need to do this?
Yeah, you do, because it's one bill. They haven't broken it down, so we would have to do that. Jerry Hull, the past highway superintendent, came to us back in December, and he made us aware that the truck 29, needed additional repairs, and it was going to most likely go over the amount that they had in budgeted, and he made us aware of that at that time. The only reason we didn't do it at that time was because he didn't know what the cost was going to be. So now that we have the actual bill, that's why Mr. Sweetak's asking to transfer the money.
And we have money in the account we're moving it from, we have extras, so there's.
Yes.
Budget line is worse.
And this is last year's budget.
Okay. If there's no other discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carried. So we've already had our executive session. May I have a motion to adjourn at 7:21?
I'll move.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Meeting adjourned.